You could die of hunger and thirst, and they still would eat at your funeral. You could die from hunger and thirst, and they would eat and drink at your funeral. If this don't tell you that nobody truly really care, then something is wrong. There may be a few people on the planet who actually care, but you need to understand those are the people who you need to be around. And it's typically probably not going to be too many people. It's probably not too many people. But you need to understand the fundamental fact. This goes for family too. You could die from hunger, and your family will be eating at your funeral, dancing, laughing. I'm not saying everybody should be sad all the time, but I'm saying that they're just gonna forget. And this is why I think every man should make his mark on the world. At least you could be remembered by some other people. At least you could leave your legacy online or something now. At least you know when you pass away, you left a collection online or a collection of videos of you talking, leaving some wisdom or some knowledge or something. Rather than just dying without doing anything and then dying and then die from hunger, you die from thirst. But they eating and drinking at your funeral. I want you to think deeply about this. This is truth. Just think about all of the just think about all of the homeless people who died from hunger and thirst. I want you to think about all of them. And everybody that actually had a funeral, everybody at the funeral was eating. Everybody at the funeral was eating. People don't really they don't care. People really genuinely don't care. And until you understand this fundamental fact, a lot of people are not going to care enough to fix your life either. They're not going to care enough to fix your life. So there's going to be a bunch of different messages in here, but it all points towards the same thing, showing you that nobody truly is going to care enough to fix your life. Don't see this as something bad. There's few people on the planet who actually care, and I want you to join those people. And I'm one of the ones who care. That's why I'm making this video, because I want you to understand that it's up to you to change your own life. It's up to you to make yourself happy, to make yourself joyful. And I don't mean happy in the hedonistic sense, drinking and distractions. I don't mean happy in that sense, but I mean happy as in joyful, purpose, fulfilling. And I want you to understand that it's up to you. Nobody can come along and pick you up and force you to work. And understand that a lot of people, even your family, is not going to care enough to fix your life. So you have to do it. You have to be the one to do it. You have to be the one who faced the challenges. You have to be the one who faced all of the hardship and all of that. And you need to take it and mold yourself into becoming better. That's the best thing you can do. Every route is suffering. Now, I don't mean suffering in a bad sense. I mean suffering in a way that makes you better. Well, not every route makes you better. Let me correct myself. Because what I mean is, one route, suffering leads to a life which you didn't want. And then the other part is suffering for the life you want. So there's two different paths to suffering. You can either suffer being a nobody, you can suffer the pain of that, or you can suffer the pain of discipline, trying to get to where you want to go. And I truly, genuinely want you to understand that your family cannot help you on this path. Really, genuinely, nobody can help you on this path. We can only give you words. I can only help give you words. I can only help you. I can only help speak life into you. That's all I can really do. You have to walk that path. I'm just here to tell you what to do and help give you some guidance as the direction as to where to go. Nobody can really genuinely help you and make you do the actions which you need to go and do, or do the things which you need to go and undertake. I do want you to understand that your family sometimes can be the enemy. Even having a good family, your family can still take you away from what you need to be doing, your purpose, and all of these different things. Genuinely sense because you're on a route upward. You're on a route leaving the distractions. I know who I'm talking to. You're on a route leaving the distractions behind. You're on a route putting away the old man, putting on the new. You starting to get new friends, or you starting to look for new people, new communities, new relationships, new bonds. You starting to want to make more money. You want to leave everything old behind. And it's like your family tries to pull you back. They try to pull you back. So you need to understand that you cannot force yourself to be family with them. Let me explain in detail. It was a quote from Christ. He said, "Who is my brother, my sister, and my mother?" He said, "No, behold, these are my brother, sister, mother. Those who do the will of God is my brother and sister, mother." And you need to understand that. You need to use that. Because we always want to say family is blood. Oh, that's my blood. No. Forget that off. Just because y'all grew up together, just because y'all have the same blood, does not mean that person is capable or worthy to coming into the life of the promised land which you have. Some people have to get left behind, include family. Look at all the disciples. Look at all Paul and them. They had to leave their family behind. Now, I'm not saying, here's what I'm saying. Even if you're living with them at the moment, you still need to leave them behind. You need to prioritize your mission and your purpose before your family. He that loves his father, sister, mother more than me is not worthy of me. So you need to leave that connection, that bond behind. You need to, because it's an attachment which can keep you attached. You want to attach yourself to all this different trauma which they have imposed upon you. When you could just start new. You can sit there and protect your peace and protect your mind rather than trying to put up with people just because they're blood. You need to stop that. That's one of the biggest factors when it's becoming a man, or becoming not even just a man, becoming a new person. You're going down a new person in life, and you're starting to become chosen. You start to understand how reality is. You start to understand you don't have to put up with people just because they're blood. Some people are incompetent. Some people are insufferable. And you don't have to put up with it. I'm telling you, you don't. Protect your peace, prioritize your mission. You should spend all of your waking hours being productive, sitting in silence sometimes, putting away the phone. You should spend your waking hours being productive. And the number one thing I can keep saying, of course, learn about God. Of course. But I wanted to give direction as to, okay, what do I do after I find God? Because you find God and then you still broke and then you still wondering. So after you find God, of course, after you study your laws of the universe and everything, the second step is money. I'm telling you, the second step is money. You need to figure out a way to escape your 9 to 5, or figure out a way to take your time back from all the time that has been took. And this goes with the title of the video. You could die of hunger and thirst and they still wouldn't care. But there's a certain hunger and thirst which can be fulfilled by God himself, which is why I said put God first. So God will fill that hunger and thirst, but you still need to understand that there are some things that you still have to do in everyday life. Because a lot of people keep trying to give up on life. I keep seeing it. This is not 100 AD. This is not 100 BC. This is not those days where we gave up on life and went out and wandered and became a disciple and wandering from house to house trying to get meals. No, we're not doing that. You need to wake up every day and you need to work. You have a mission and a duty to work, whatever your work may be. So you need to understand this. You need to understand this and use this. Whatever your work may be, you have a duty. Because they want you to opt out on life and give up on life. You can't do that. You cannot do that. So you need to move down the route of understanding reality and understand that money is necessary in this reality as a tool. Now, this fits into the family structure, this family part, because a lot of people are broke in places where they don't want to be, stuck with family they don't want to be, or talking to old people which they don't want to be around, or talking to coworkers which they don't even want to talk to. And this is why it's important to get your money. I think it's possible for everybody who truly want to escape. And the only reason why some people won't escape is because they don't want to, or they don't try. They want to escape, but they don't want it enough to try. So this is why I think money is important in this, and why this fits into the puzzle of you could die for hunger and thirst, but they will eat at your funeral. You need to ensure that you can carefully craft your reality, and money helps give you that tool. Money helps you stop being around insufferable family. Family is insufferable. That could be insufferable. It's all so many traumas, so many different traumas they trying to pull out on you and put it on you. And I see this particularly in women. I have never seen men do this. I've never seen men do this. You can call me misogynist, you can call me whatever. I have never seen men complain and ensure that every other person around them has to be miserable too. I've never seen it. Maybe perhaps some of you, some of the men in your family have done that, but I've never seen it. I've only seen it particularly in women. When women are miserable and they don't like their life, they will try to make everybody else miserable. They will try to make everybody else live in hell because they're living in hell. This is how it goes. So you need to put your peace first. You do not have to put up with garbage. I'm not telling you to disrespect people or do none of that, but you do not have to put up with garbage of what your family has to say or what your family has to do and all this different garbage. You don't have to put up with it. Oh, but that's your blood people. No, I don't want to talk to them. They're insufferable. They're insufferable. They're not trying to do anything with their life. They want to stay on the same thing. They're angry, they're grumpy, they're miserable. I don't want to talk to these people. This is how you have to start to operate. And I'm not telling you to be disrespectful. Again, I'm telling you to genuinely be able to put yourself in a certain place where you're prior towards your mental peace and your powerfulness rather than giving into hell. That's their whole mission, is to bring hell. I want you to understand, people that's not living heaven on earth, or people who haven't entered into the kingdom, you need to understand that they're still living a version of hell. They are walking hells. They are walking torturers. They're mad at everything, mad at the world, mad at everything because their life didn't go the way that it was supposed to go. So the only way they can do it is take their anger out on the people around them. And this is why I say financial situations must be improved early on so you can get away from this nonsense. I'm warning you. I'm telling you. I'm going to make a separate video about this in depth on its own. But it all goes into each other. Because you can die of hunger and thirst, and they will eat at the funeral. Somebody just wrecked. And look how life can happen just like that. Somebody just wrecked. You never know what could happen. So you need to live life to the fullest every day. You need to start to get into modes where you can actually remember what's happening. We're starting to be in a world where we don't even remember what's happening. We can't even tell each other what happened last week, what happened Wednesday, what happened Monday. It's fuzzy. You can barely recall. And that's why you should start to understand this message. Nobody truly cares enough, not even your family, cares enough to fix your life. You're going to have to be the one to do it. But there are some people out there in the world who will care. People like me and my free Telegram, t.me/Preme Operations, which you can join. The link is in the description. People like us is there for people like you. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point why I started to build it. And I'm gonna leave this off with this. The church gave me that atmosphere as well. When I first started going to church, my family didn't like it. They didn't like it because I met a new family. Met a new family who I would always talk about them. Start to always talk about them. They started to, why you always talking about them and this and that, and you like them more than, of course I do. They showed genuine love and happiness and joy. They wasn't trying to tear you down. They wasn't trying to do none of that. They genuinely want to see you succeed. And you have to think about, it's people who actually trying to develop their life. They're going there every Sunday, every Wednesday, and showing up to all the different meetings. Of course, it's a few cretins, odd cretins in there who just show up just to show up. But there's people in there who's actually trying to elevate their life. And these are the people you should try and listen to. And these are the people you should be around. You don't have to spend time with your family. Stop spending time with your family and they're insufferable. All they want to do is watch distractions. They're going to keep you complacent. They're going to keep you calm. They just want to sit around, eat food, be mad, argue with each other over nonsense, and watch TV. That's all they want to do. So you need to get away from that. Get around people who's constantly trying to learn and develop. It's people at church, people you meet online. Get in these communities and start to work together. And start to uplift each other. And start to talk about things which will help you and help each other. Because you need to understand, that's what's going to help you. Not sit around these same old friends, same old family who want to tear you down and bring you down. Because there's so much trauma that goes into these old relationships. This is why it's better to just start things new. This is why it's always put away the old man and get with the new. He said old wineskins must be broken. Old wineskins must be broken. We need new bottles. You need to put old wine into new bottles. So we need new bottles. That's what's going on. So you do not have to put up the nonsense of which your family provides. Ignore them. Start to ignore them. I'm telling you, ignore them. I'm telling you. They exist for one reason. It's to test your emotionality. That's it. They want to see if they can get you angry. They want to see if they can get you riled up, and they're just going to keep trying and trying and trying and trying. Don't give it to them. Don't give them your emotionality. Don't give them your peace. That's all they're here for. People who are not unplugged is here for one mission: to steal. The thief. To steal, kill, and destroy. They want to steal your joy. They want to steal your peace. You can't allow them to do that. You need to understand. Of course, they will tell you that people online like me is evil. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you people like me online is bad people. But you need to listen to the message. Ignore what they're saying and genuinely listen to the message. I'm telling you, because I went through this route. Prioritize your peace and your mental peace over trying to have some connection because y'all blood. And I'm going to end it here. Join the free Telegram. Links in the description. You know where to find me. That is the link. Join us because we're trying to build this brotherhood. We're trying to build a new family and get away from all of the bullshit and all of the old garbage of which the family try to purport, or the matrix try to purport. Because it's not just family. I want you to understand this. It's people who's not unplugged. I know I said family, but you can really say matrix because the agents come through anybody. They'll come through your family. They'll come through people close to you. Go back and look. Before Peter and the disciples was unplugged, Jesus had to rebuke them. He said, get behind me, Satan. He was talking to Peter. He said, you are offense to me. Get behind me. He was talking to Peter. He was talking to Peter. That's who he was talking to. Peter was walking with him. He was walking with him the whole time. So agents can come through anybody. Agent can be anybody that's not unplugged. They wasn't yet unplugged. They wasn't yet to the mental echelon of which Jesus got them to. And I'm not even trying to start preaching, but I learned a lot of lessons from it, from reading the Bible and studying the Bible. But that's what you need to understand. That's what you need to understand. The agents can come through anybody. So you need to be very, very careful about what you say. You need to dissect the sentences that's coming at you from other people. When you're having conversations with people who are not unplugged, you need to dissect the conversations you're having. What are they saying? Because you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to refute every single thing that they say. You're going to have to break down all of the garbage of which they say. And it's genuinely like they don't even mean harm. They're not even trying to do it. It's just they're on a low level of echelon. They're just on a low echelon. Because I remember having a conversation with somebody. This was at the beginning of my career. This was some time ago, a while ago, before I started business and all these different things. I was in a mode, a process of learning about myself, and I'm focused. I'm reading more than ever. I'm learning more than ever. I'm working on things. I'm working on businesses. And I told myself, I made a goal for myself. I said, I'm staying here in this one place until I succeed and do what I want. Kind of like how Buddha sat under the tree. And instead of them seeing that as something good, they saw that as me being depressed, asking me, are you depressed? Or are you depressed? Or you are depressed and this and that. And just a bunch of bullshit. It's like they want you to be sad. Like, why is that the first thing that comes to your mind, that I'm sad or something is wrong with me? No, I'm getting my life together and I'm leaving you bullshit people alone. Because you say things like this and it influence you if you don't have a strong enough mind. Now imagine if somebody didn't have a strong enough mind in that same situation I was in. They would have, oh yeah, I am depressed. Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Perhaps you're right. No, fuck that the fuck off. They want to keep you sad. They want you to admit to yourself that you're depressed. They want you to admit these things. You need to get away from it. Protect your mental peace. Join the free Telegram. I ended it here. You know where to find me.